let's talk updates on Scream 6 and Halloween Ends.
What's your favorite scary movie? Name it.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Well, Pennywise the ends you now.
Oh, blood on the beast!
God, don't do that.
But sometimes, death is better.
Hey everybody, what's up? Killjoy Jake here, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking a little bit about Scream 6 and Halloween Ends, two movies I'm very excited for coming out somewhat soon. Not really for Scream 6. We kind of got like, what, 9 months until that comes out. But anyways, we're gonna get into some updates here in just a sec. But first, if you guys could like this video and hey, maybe subscribe too, that could be cool. So a few things before we get into the updates. I want to say that tonight, at some point, I will be posting a non-spoiler review of the film Nope from Jordan Peele. I am very excited for this flick. I genuinely think it might be my favorite of the entire year. I can't wait to see it in a couple hours here. My mind is spiraling, going out of control. So make sure to look out for that non-spoiler review and my live stream tomorrow where I'll be talking about it at 7:30 Eastern. And another thing I want to talk about real quick and get serious about for a moment is the movie They/Them. I completely did not even think about putting a warning in my video I did on it yesterday talking about the trailer. I even showed clips from the trailer, and I didn't think to put a warning behind that, and that's my bad. I'm really sorry about that. It is a movie that deals with the subject matter of gay conversion therapy. I've had a few people reach out to me saying like, Jake, you should have put a warning behind that because it can be triggering to some people. So just so you know, if I post any content in the future about They/Them, first of all, yes, there will be a warning beforehand, but maybe skip that if that kind of subject matter is something that could trigger you. So getting into this Scream 6 update, we have an update coming from actor Dermot Mulroney, who has already been confirmed to be playing a cop in this movie, and might just have a daughter character who's gonna fall victim to Ghostface. It sounded like I said goat face, but ghost face. Mulroney tells Screen Rant, I guess I shouldn't say that my daughter is one of the victims, but I don't have to describe how or in what way. So that's what draws me into the story is strong family ties. Okay, so a few things with that quote. One, like, yeah, I guess he's being a little cryptic, but now the moment that we see his daughter character in the movie, we know she's not Ghostface, and we know she's dead. So if they've set this character up at all in any way to be a red herring at some point in this movie, it's not gonna work. You can give us an exciting update without giving away stuff like that. If you would have just been like, oh, hey, my daughter character's in the movie and maybe she's the Ghostface killer. You know, like throw something out like that. Okay, cool. That doesn't like spoil anything. You kind of just like, the moment we meet this character, we know her fates. Could you imagine if there's like an epic chase scene and all that, like what we've been wanting from a Scream film? Because the last Scream film was unfortunately devoid of all chase and like, well, a lot of tension building, unfortunately. And then we finally get that with this character for the first time in this movie, and it's just like, well, yeah, she's just gonna die. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Jake, it's a slasher film. People are gonna die, of course, come on. But not everyone dies. That's why it's suspenseful. That's why it's scary. Maybe she's in a chase scene and she lives. I mean, that's happened multiple times in the Scream franchise. So like, I don't really wanna know people's fates. This is kind of a big spoiler too. But then talking about the script overall, he says what brings him in the most is the strong family ties, which once again just gets me worried about this film, man. I hate sounding so negative, but it's like, why, what about this entire script makes you think strong family ties? Is it that the killer is somehow related to some of the past killers? Maybe Richie and Amber, and maybe it's their mother or something who's the killer? Once again, total speculation, but I'm getting worried here. Now, if it seems like I'm jumping the gun and you're like, Jake, come on, dude, relax. It's just one quote where he talks about family ties. Like, maybe it's just nothing. Maybe it's just like, oh, it's his family ties to a family man type of character that maybe he's portraying here. Well, there's even more things, though, that point towards a Scream 2 copycat kind of plot like this. For example, they've booked out a theater in Montreal that looks gorgeous, by the way. It's going to be a great set piece. But they rented out this theater for what is going to be a massive scene in this movie, and if you remember from Scream 2, that entire third act basically takes place on a stage. And another rumor would suggest that Samara Weaving's character is going to be playing Liv McKenzie's sister from the last movie. Once again, family ties, and if anyone's going to be the killer in this movie, Samara Weaving's got a pretty good shot at it. She's a very prominent star, has played a killer before in other horror movies, and well, would fucking just kill it, first of all. I mean, listen, your boy's not going to be complaining if they do take the Mrs. Loomis route this time around with Samara Weaving. I mean, listen, it's a compromise I'm willing to make to see Samara Weaving kill people, so like, fuck. Now, I could be completely wrong, but just about every single update points to this being the truth, which, man, I just feel like would be pretty disappointing. Now, there is a silver lining to all of this. There is things about this movie that are going to kind of force it to be a little original, at least. For example, the New York City setting is very opportunistic. I mean, the idea of Ghostface chasing someone down an alleyway or through a high-rise building or a subway system even is so exciting to me, and that alone is enough for me to get my ass in a theater. The cast is also amazing with Dermot Mulroney that we've already mentioned. I love him as an actor, and Samara Weaving has joined the cast, along with Liana Liberato, Jack Champion, and a shit ton of all other awesome people who have joined this cast as newcomers. So even though, yes, my expectations have been lowered for Scream 6, just because from a plot standpoint, I'm pretty sure it's going to be something similar to Scream 2. But there's a lot of things that are going to be really positive about this film, and somewhat fresh and different. And getting ourselves into a little bit of a Halloween Ends update, talking about Laurie Strode herself, Jamie Lee Curtis, JLC. Cannot wait to see this movie in October. I'm very pumped for it, especially after that little teaser trailer we got. I talked about that in a crazy live stream where we like went on a debate about the fake Michael Myers thing. You guys can check that out up here. Talking about playing the infamous final girl one last time, Jamie Lee Curtis said, "Endings are a bitch, and endings are very difficult to do in a very satisfying way. The last shot filmed was part of a night shoot, and I was in a car. It was a close-up of me in the car, and when we got out of the car, it was 4:30 in the morning, and there was the picture of my face on the screen. And I realized that was the last image of Laurie Strode after 44 years of portraying her. Isn't that amazing? And it felt very satisfying. I think people are going to lose their minds." Now, there's a lot of things to take away from that. Mostly good, but there is one just weird thing that has been so consistent between everyone's comments who are like working on this movie. They've all kind of said these like backhanded positive comments about it. Like you have John Carpenter just straight up saying that, it's fucking weird. Like, which is like, it's not negative, you know, it's questionably positive. We have Jamie Lee Curtis saying like a long time ago now that everyone's going to hate the ending, and now here today she's saying endings are a bitch and endings are very difficult to do in a very satisfying way, which once again just screams like, yeah, you know, the ending's not great, but it's cool. People are gonna lose their minds, you know, whatever. Like, imagine if I got on my live stream talking about Red Right Hand, a Scream fan film that comes out this December on this channel here, by the way, and then I kind of just am just like, yeah, you know, the ending's kind of weird. People are probably gonna hate it, and you know, endings are a bitch. It's tough to do a satisfying one, but people are gonna lose their minds. I think my Kickstarter backers would probably start getting worried if I was saying shit like that. You know, maybe this is the weird like conspiracy part of my brain working right now, but maybe they're just like purposefully trying to lower our expectations for this movie so that we actually just like love it all the more, even though it's probably like an 8 out of 10. Like, imagine going into this thing and Halloween Ends is like the best Halloween movie ever, and your expectations are set that low. You're gonna love it all the more. Like, maybe it was a 10 out of 10 if it was just like normally, regularly hyped, but now you're probably gonna think it's an 11 out of 10 for that reason. Now, she also talks about filming a shot in a car by herself late at night. Now, obviously, it doesn't seem like there was any action, not that she details at least, but the last shot they filmed, which usually is not chronologically the last shot of the movie, was in a car driving late at night. So could this feed into those theories that maybe Laurie is like not in Haddonfield and she's living somewhere else, and then she gets wind of like, oh, Michael Myers is killing people in Haddonfield again, and then she leaves and drives all the way there? I don't know if that's gonna be the case. I don't really see the point of taking Laurie out of Haddonfield besides the fact that like maybe she wants to move because that's where all the traumatic shit happened to her. Like, that I understand, but like from a story plot perspective, why would they do that? Like, just to have Laurie Strode not be there and then like have her drive there, I guess, like so that she's just not already running at Michael as soon as possible in the movie? Because I would assume that their first encounter in this film is probably not going to happen until like the third act. So maybe that could be why they maybe do that, but once again, I wouldn't expect that to be like a definite thing. That's a big maybe at the moment. I gotta say though, just to harp on some of that stuff I was talking about on that live stream, I was very, very impressed with the little teaser trailer we got a couple days ago. I really think that this thing looks good. From the very little things we've seen from Halloween Ends so far, I'm genuinely thinking it's shaping up to be the best Halloween movie from David Gordon Green. I really think this is everything I want the ending to be. And me personally, I don't really want a happy ending. Like, is that weird? I kind of want it to be a little bittersweet. I feel like it would be kind of like weird and just crazy whiplash in tone if they were to give us a happy ending at this point. I mean, sure, the two David Gordon Green movies have been fun and very comedic, comedic, but they also have this like crazy dark side to them. I mean, Laurie is absolutely traumatized in this version of her character. I mean, like in the past, sure, we've seen elements of that happen, like in H2O and I guess Resurrection for very little screen time. But with this version of Laurie Strode, we've seen her probably in like the worst shape we've ever seen her in. And it's also kind of cool to see her like much more healthier, like in a better mental place in this new movie as to what it seems. I'm guessing here, just kind of my theory. But something tells me Laurie's not living through this movie. I think she's biting it. What do you guys think about Halloween Ends though? How do you want it to end? Leave me something about it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching this new update on Scream 6 and Halloween Ends. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more horror content. And also, if you want to support this channel even further, you can support me on Patreon or become a channel member by clicking that join button on my page. Thank you guys so much for watching this video again, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.